Good evening and welcome. My name is Michelle Dutrissa and I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin Up here in New South Wales, Australia. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. And tonight we're going to start creating with some new Christmas goodies. I received my pre-order the other day and this is one of the products from that pre-order. Now before we get started, one thing I do have to say, if you're new to my channel, please jump on, say hello, let us know who you are and where you're from. It's always wonderful to say hello to new people. And please, if you're on my YouTube, hit like and follow, and that way you will know when I am doing my lives. So let me show you this particular paper. Now it's called A Little Bit Festive. It's part of the mix and match, I think it's called, that Stampin' Up are now bringing out. It's 3 sheets of designer series paper that are double-sided. So this is one side. So you have only 3 sheets of paper in this. And most of the time we have 6 in our packs, but this one comes with 3 sheets of paper. And if I flip it over, then you can see the other side, the other 3 designs. Sorry, I've already started cutting that one up. So really nice, just basic Christmas designs. But then it also comes with 3 sheets of die cuts. So you have this sheet here, and some of these are frames, like this one here has got a pop out in the middle, and that's a frame. And this one here is also a frame. This one's a frame. So you've got 3 frames, 2 card fronts, and then you also have this decorative strip here, which you could use. This is also great for scrapbooking pages if you want to use it on scrapbooking pages. So we have that sheet of die cuts. We also then have this sheet here. Now, I've already started pulling some of this out, so it's a bit hard to see. But you've got 2 sheets of die cuts, which have got all of these poinsettias, utes with all your Christmas trees, Christmas tree decorations, some mistletoe. And then you have on this one here, things like stockings, teddy bears, wreaths, hot chocolate, gingerbread cookies, gingerbread house. You have this little one here, just like a gold piece that you could highlight. You could probably even emboss on that. Some other little decorative snowflakes, some drums, Christmas tree, another wreath, some presents, and another wreath. So this is what I thought I'd play with tonight. Okay, so let me just pop this all to one side, and I'm going to show you what we're going to make. Now, this is something that I made a few years back, and I thought this particular designer series or specialty paper will be really great for doing this. Now, this is I believe it's called a pyramid card. I made this one quite a few years ago. So it comes apart, lays flat, just like that, folded in half, and it will fit in to a standard envelope. But when you receive it, you take this corner, pop it into the little slot there, and that becomes like a teepee. So it's like a teepee card, tree card, I suppose. But anyway, that's what I'm going to recreate tonight. So what I've done is I've already cut some of my bits and pieces. I'm just going to pop this to one side over here because I need that to give me some guidance of where we're going. So I needed 3 pieces of cardstock. Now I've chosen basic white to go with this because the core colour of my designer series paper is white. And each one of these pieces is cut. Hello, Deb. Thank you for joining. Is cut at 10.5 centimetres square. You then also needed I've already cut these into triangles, but because I was playing a bit to see how it was all going to work. You also needed some square pieces cut at, I think it's 10.3. Let me just double check. It's all written in the inside of here, 10.2. So you need 3 of these pieces cut at 10.5 square. 3 pieces here, but you won't be using part of it. You'll only be using, I'll show you all in a minute, but you'll need 3 squares at 10.2. Yep, 10.2. And then you need another 3 squares cut at 4. Now, you do need to use, because these red pieces are going to be this star piece here. Hello, Jennifer. Thank you for joining. This star piece was actually quite easy because it's an all-over design. This one here, it's an all-over design, but these aren't quite circles. They're more of an oval, and I really had to sort of decide, is that going to work going on there and which direction? So I wanted to make sure I cut each piece the right direction. So what I'm getting at is make sure whatever designer series paper you use is going to work in the direction that you're going to be looking at this at, because even though when it's flat, I pull this out again, when it's flat you're sort of looking at a piece like this or like that. When you have it standing up, it's actually standing up on these points here. So it becomes that is your center there rather than there, if that makes sense. Oh, Jennifer, don't worry. I've had a lot of people spell my name with 2 L's and not one. So you get over it after a while. So just, be aware when you're choosing what papers you want to do with this, what the paper is going to look like when you've done it. So I'm hoping this is going to look okay. So that's that. So let's just start putting this piece together. So I need to score these pieces diagonally down this way. Let me just move that die out of the road. So all I'm going to do is make sure my cutting blade was right out of the road. I'm going to pop the diagonal corners into the groove on my trimmer, and I'm going to use my score blade on my trimmer to score each one of these down diagonally. So there's one. Two. Autocorrect. Yeah. It was actually really funny the other week because the spelling of Michelle with 1 L is actually the French version. And I had a customer for alterations, and she was also Michelle, and she was actually French. And one of the first things that she said to me when she rang me to make an appointment was, you spell your name the correct way, the same way as I do with 1 L. So a lot of people aren't quite aware that, the 1 L spelling is the French version. So a little bit of history there on my name. Now, these little pieces here, I also need to cut these diagonally as well. So I want to make sure that I'm going to have all of these pieces. I don't think it's going to matter so much with these, having them all go in the right direction. But again, I'm just going to pop this into the groove diagonally, this time taking my score blade out of the road, and we're going to trim that down. Now, I'm not quite sure. Yep, I probably only needed 2 of those squares and not 3, so I'm going to have 1 spare. And out of these triangles, we're actually only going to use 3. So not the 4 of them. And that's the same with the big one. The red one, I'm only going to use 3 triangles and not the 4. So we don't need that one. That's okay. I can just pop that to one side. So there's all our main pieces for this card. I've also used the Spotlight on Nature dies to cut this circle here. Now, I'm not quite sure as yet whether I'm going to go ahead and use this or whether I'm going to use a die cut wreath, but it's there and cut as well. And the sentiment I'm going to be using on this is from another new set. Now, this set is called Peaceful Season. It's part of a I suppose a mega suite collection. It's where it comes with 2 stamp sets and the other stamp set that comes with that one and the dies is this Peaceful Evergreens. Beautiful. And the designer series paper is just to die for in this particular suite. And I'm going to use one of these sentiments. I'm not quite sure yet whether I'm going to be using I'm hoping the season is bright and beautiful, or the other one I have mounted up is, let me just have a quick look, is A Season of Wonder and Happiness. So I'm sort of not quite sure yet which one of those I'm going to use, but I've also pulled out a die, which I just love this die, and this is from the Peaceful Season. So when you get this stamp set, you can get a set of dies that go with it, and it's just gorgeous. Very traditional styling. So I've got that die as well. So I'm thinking of using that for that particular sentiment. The smaller sentiment, we may stamp that one on the circle if we go ahead with that. One other thing I wanted just to say about all these little die cut pieces. This is the envelope that the dies come in, and of course I pop all my dies inside the cellophane bag in with my stamps so they're all together. Excuse me. So all these little pieces, when I'm finished tonight, I will actually take them all out and pop them all into one of these. That way they're all together and they're not going to get lost. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I had an Indian curry for dinner, so it's probably coming back and just sort of tickling the back of my throat. Okay, so let's start on all of these and start putting this TP card together. So I'm going to grab my bone folder and I'm going to fold all these in half and just burnish them all. Now, when I made my original one, I sponged all around the edges of my cardstock just to give it a bit of age. Now, I do like the papers, designer series papers in this. They're sort of a little bit modern, mixed with a little bit of traditional, just in the fact that this design here is slightly traditional, but this one here is slightly modern. So it's quite a nice mix. But the all the die cuts are very heritage or very old world type styling. So I'm sort of thinking maybe I might sponge the edges of this, but if I do, I might just do it in Pool Party, because one of the colours in this is Pool Party and Misty Moonlight. And I thought I'm going to highlight those colours a little bit with doing this. So I'm trying to make up my mind whether I'm going to do this or not. So I'm just going to grab a brush and my Pool Party. Let's just move some of these out of the road. And all I want to do is just go around all these edges. So I'm just going to use this brush just to flick it all the way around. give this a little bit of age. Just be careful because you might get that. I'll have to make sure some of these corners get covered up. I'll have to plan where my paper is going. Because doing it this way, you might get a little bit of a blob. Colour, and what I want to do as well, and I'm just going to actually pop a bit of that colour onto my glass mat here. That might just help not do this, and I just want to down those folds as well. Turn it around and do the other side. So it's sort of a little bit on both of them. So we're going to do all of that on all three. Just very quickly. Because really in the end, actually all of this gets covered up with paper except for the piece that goes in underneath. So you probably really don't need to worry about if you get some splodges like I'm getting here. Now, of course, if you don't have the brushes, just use your daubers to do exactly the same thing. Now, if you wanted to, you could go around and do this as well to your designer series paper, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think it's enough just on the edges of this. Hello, Glenda. Hello, Chia. How are you? Last part, just down through the centre here. And I don't think I'm taking as much care now that I realise that all this is going to get covered up. Okay, so that's all done. Pop that to one side. So let me just bring in, I just need to wipe this up. It's not really that moist, is it? Let's see if I keep forgetting to moisten that before my class to see if there's any moisture left in this. And let's just get rid of this off there. Even that one's starting to get a bit dry. Okay, so let's put all this together. So let me bring in my template that I have here. So we have to join these three pieces together to form one. So, and they're all overlapped. So this one here, so if we take our first one, this one is going to overlap like that. And then this one here is going to overlap like that. Okay, so you can see there where the folds, whoops, that's the wrong way. That's going to go like that. Okay, so we've got our first one there with our diagonal going that way. This one here with our diagonal going straight up and down. So basically, if you take this one here straight up and down, the diagonal on this is following that side of your square. And this one here, which is going to go on top of this one, is following that side of the square. Okay, so that's how we're going to glue all this up together. So I'm going to grab my liquid glue. I'll grab a full one. and I'm going to start, and I'm actually going to use a pencil just very carefully. Actually, I wonder if I've got a post-it note around here. My desk is a real big mess at the moment because I was crafting away the other day and I still haven't put things away properly. I started. It's not as big a mess as it was. Let me have a quick look in here. This is where everything gets chucked. No, I know I had some here the other day, but I'm not quite sure where I've put them. Okay, let's use a pencil. So what we just need to do is I'm just going to get a pencil and just very lightly just draw a line, because that's where I want my glue to go. I don't want it going past that line there. Okay. So then that is going to go from that point down to there. Just make sure that those points are lined up, and I've just got it just on the side of the, just make sure I might have to bring that up just that little bit more if I can. I might just see if I can just move that up just a fraction. And I'll get a rubber in a moment, and there it is there. We'll just take that out right now. So there's our pencil line. I'm just going to remove that. So I've matched up those points there right at the very top. Okay. That's a good idea, make him into place settings. That would be fantastic. You know what? I've just realised, have I done that wrong? I've done something very wrong there. Here I am, chatting away, and I have joined that up. I'll have to recut those pieces. I just did that completely wrong. In the bin. Let's start that again. That's what happens when you're chatting too much, and that's my problem. I'm chatting and I'm not watching what I'm doing. So we've got to cut this at 10.5, and we want another 10.5, and we need another square at 10.5. Pop that to one side. Now we need to make sure that's taken right out of the road. Let's cut this diagonally. That one's diagonally. Let's try it again. Look, even the best of us, we all make mistakes, and we're not all infallible. So it's what makes us all human. Luckily, I had some cardstock sitting here. I actually was going to originally do this in cherry cobbler, and then I realised, no, wrong colour. So that's why it sort of went back to white. Okay, let's grab this again. We'll very quickly go around our edges. one's done. And the last side, and we'll try this again. Hopefully this time we'll get it right. Okay. Whoops, almost lost one of those. So let's have a look at this again. So we need to get, this point is to go onto that point. Okay, let's put our pencil line in there again. So that one there is going to go there. So let's just pop some glue on there. So this line is going to follow that line, and that line is going to follow my fold there. So let's just bring that right up to that point, making sure those points there are nice and meeting. That's better. Let's remove that line there. It's only just a guide. Okay, so then this one here is going to lay on top of this one, again meeting at the top. And this one here, I'm only going to put glue in that section there. So let's pop our glue onto there. So again, this diagonal is going to follow that line, and this straight is going to follow diagonal on the piece prior. Okay. Just, whoops, making sure all that is meeting up. That's looking good. So when that all folds together now, that will fold. Make sure it there. I might have to put a little bit of glue into that area there. Let me just have a look. Need a little bit extra glue just up into there. A little bit extra glue just in that area there. Give that a really good firm, might just give that a good burnish just to make sure that all of that is glued down and adhered. Looking a bit messy at the moment, but that's okay. And then all of that will fold together to form a three-sided pyramid. And that's just slightly not quite ready up the top there. That's okay. It will dry and it will stay. Okay, so there we are. There's our base to our card. So now there we go. I'm back. I touched my mouse and I lost everybody. Okay then. So now I need to take my red triangles. As I said, we only need 3. And I'm going to have one going there. Now, this over here is going to be my front, this piece here. And that's where I'm saying when you have it like that, you sort of thinking that everything is going this way, but actual fact, there's the center there. Okay, so it's actually this piece here, this triangle here is your card front. Well, that's what I'm working on as being my card front. So I'm just going to lay this out. So that's going to go there. These, as I said, are slightly more oval rather than circular. So I'm going to just plan this out a little bit. That's going to go there. And then this one is going to go there. So when I'm looking at that as my front, that's not looking too bad. Then these little triangular pieces here, I'm going to have one that pops in here. Now, if you're doing a stripe, this is where you've got to watch and make sure that you're going to get your stripes going in the direction you want them to go in. Okay, so you might need to play around a little bit. So that one's going to go there. These ones I don't think is going to matter so much because it is almost a little bit of an all-over pattern. And then the last one is going to go just there like that. So then you should have these two pieces left over as spares. So that's how that is going to get glued together. So let's do that now. So we'll start off with this one here. Whoops. I've got things balanced everywhere here and they're just wanting to come down onto my table. So this one here is going to go there. Just wanting to leave a little bit of a border all the way around. It's not much of a border, it's only a very small border that I've left on this. This one here is going to go just there like that. Again, just leaving a bit of a border all the way around. I'm just going to take these three pieces out for the moment. And as you can see, that going around those edges with the pool party is all getting a little bit covered up, but when the card's folded, I think you'll notice it more. And then this one here, I'm going to pop that one there. So now these little pieces, can pop into there. One can go in there. And then this one That's going to go right there like that. So I just want to push all those down, just make sure that they're all adhering. Now there's one thing that I do want to do, because when this all folds up, that piece is going to fold in behind and this one's going to fold over the top. Now you could put a magnet in there to hold that closed. If you want to hold that closed with a magnet, you could put a Velcro dot in there if you want to have that. But I just want to put what I did on this one here, I did a diagonal cut. So what I want to do is just come in here and I'm going to put a little diagonal cut, and I think I made that around about 1.5 to 2 centimeters in. Let's just have a quick look. Yeah, around about 2 centimeters. So I'm just going to grab my pencil here and I'm going to put a mark here at 2 centimeters. And I'm going to pop another little mark here at 2 centimeters. And I'm going to draw a line there across. And that's going to be where I'm going to cut a little pocket. Now, I want to pop something underneath this. What have I got here? I don't have a self-healing mat close by. Okay. I usually have a little tiny mini one here somewhere. Here it is. Little mini one from Stampin' Up from many years ago. And let's see if I can find like a crafter knife. Now that is a good question. Where have I put my craft knife? Has gone walkabout. I have got 2 take-a-pick tools and there it is over there. There we go. Put away in the wrong spot. So I'm just going to use my craft knife on my take-a-pick tool and I'm just going to cut a pocket, a little line from there to there. Put that away in the right spot, then I should be able to find it. So now that should close up into there, which gives us our little pyramid. So now time for decorating. So as you can see, we've got 3 sides of this. So there's the side with my little pocket. I could, if I wanted to, cover that up in paper, but I'm not going to worry about it. And I'm going to decorate this one here as my, well, it could either be this one or this one. I'm going to do it on this one here, I think. So that's going to go into there. And then this one here is going to be my centre front. Okay. So I'm going to treat that as my front. So there is my front piece. So decorating. How are we going to decorate this? So as I said before, I've already cut this circle here from the Spotlight on Nature. And we're just going to remember that when we glue this down, it's going to be overhanging. Now, when I did my template one, I actually used an oval because we had the oval die cuts then, and that stayed within that area. So we could use the circle, and it's going to go over the top of that. Or what we could do is, I'm having a look at different, so let me just pop this back in. And we're going to look at different ideas here, that other things that we could use. So we've got that as one idea. We've also got, if we look at this, we've got some wreaths. There are some gold elements on this, so we've got that wreath. That hangs over quite a bit, and this is quite flimsy, so I'm sort of not really overly keen on that. So I might just pop that to one side. I can go a smaller wreath, such as that one, which means that we could stamp in the middle of that. Now, mind you, too, I can cut a smaller one of these, which may even be something we might do. So I was sort of tending to think that if we had something like that there, then our sentiment could go across the bottom there. So we've got that wreath, which is a possibility. If we went something like that, or even one going down a size smaller, which we may have to do, I was thinking of one of these trees, popping that onto there. Maybe the gifts as well. Maybe having that even coming down a little bit further. Sentiment going across there, or even stamping peace and joy up into there. So now it's decision time. Which one do I want to do? I think if I put the wreath and the Christmas tree, I think that's all getting a bit too much. You like the circle? Do you think it needs, I might just cut another circle and cut it down. But the problem is, if I cut it down smaller, because that circle can come down quite a bit, if I cut it smaller, then if I stamp on here, I'm not going to have the room. The other thing I was thinking too is actually inking around those edges. Because we've got to remember that wherever we put on here, when you unfold this to put it into an envelope, that's going to be hanging out. That's the edge of our envelope there, because that's our 10.5 centimetre width. So that's probably going to be hanging out over our envelope too far. So I'm going to have a look and see if I cut a smaller circle, whether that's going to work out better. Because the circle is really just to be able to, because I sort of feel that this is quite busy and it needs that white underneath it to break it up, to put something else on there. So that's my idea. Well, the reason why I'm sort of looking at a circle. That's going bigger. Just working out which one I've got, which is the next size down. That might be getting too small. The next size down is that one. That one is about that's the same size. They're the two big ones. Those two are the same size. Those are the same. Those are the same. Those are the same. Okay. So that's the one I used. That is the next size down that one, or the one with the lines. I think I like that one better. So let's just have a look. I mean, we could use another completely different shape too. There are some other shapes that we can use. That's the one I don't want to use. That's the one I'm thinking. See, that's when I made this one. So if you fold it that way, let me go back to the fold. Let's have a look. That's that way. Okay, so what I did there is I actually made that, but I think that's still going to be hanging out way too far that way. Okay, let's die cut this shape. Do you have the tag dies that go with the sentiments? Don't know the name, sorry. The dies that go with these sentiments, do you mean, Lucia? Because I've got the dies in here, but they're long and thin. I'm just having a look because you've got stylish shapes, but I don't think they're going to be any. Because that's about the same size as that one. Cut them all out the other day, just so I can use them when I'm designing things. That's the only one I've got done so far. Let me have a look what I've got here. I think they're going to be too rectangular and the circle's not going to be quite right. Yeah, find the name, Lucia, and let me know which one. I've still got some of my old ones in here. Got the nested dies, but I think they're a little bit too long and thin. I mean, they would fit and they would work, but I don't think I quite like it. If anyone else, greetings of the season. I don't think I've got the die. Oh, what the hell do I? Don't know whether I've got those dies. There's that one. I've got some dies on the floor, but I can't get to them at the moment. But I don't think I've got those ones, Lucia. I got the stamp set, but I didn't get the dies that went with it, I don't think. I wondered how this one would go, because it's got a little bit of I really think the circular ones might be the better ones. Because even if it sits up a bit higher, let's just cut this out and let's have a look. It's the only way we're going to know. And this is what all this is all about. It's about playing and seeing what works and just giving it a go, giving it a try. Oh, there's an oval in it, is there? Yeah, I don't have them. You're a bit too far away to lend them to me. Be a good excuse to come and visit, though. Okay, let's have a look. See how this is going to look on there. So that one there is going to sit like that. I think that's going to work a bit better because it is the envelope. I don't know whether I've got an envelope handy. Yes, I do. Hold on one sec. Let me scoot over here. Grab an envelope. So when I put that into an envelope, let's just close it up. If that's going to sit, that may just sit. I think that's a better circle. That one there. So we're just going to make everything fit around that one because we've got a little bit of play on the edges of that one. But I'm going to ink that up around my edges first. Just the same as what we did before. But this time I might try to be a little bit neater. Just brush a bit of colour on there. There we go. So there's that. That can go there. Now, we have a tree. And these are pretty much going to attach onto this circle bit here. So we have a tree, we have gifts. I can lift them up a little bit. And peace and joy will fit just nicely on that. And I think that's what I might do because I think even though my plan was to put something like this on there, I think it might be getting a little bit overloaded. So my idea was to stamp this in Misty Moonlight. Just going to stamp it off. Okay, let's have a look. So I want to take it up to the top up there as close as I can. Just like that. And hopefully once that dries, I'd love to come and craft with you. Oh, it'd be wonderful if some of us could all get together. We're all over the place. But Lucia, if ever I come down to Victoria, I will have to come and craft with you. I wish these gifts were a little bit smaller. They are so big. There are other gifts, but I think, again, they are quite big. Just having a quick look, see what else is on here. No, I think because it was either that or the gifts or the drums. So if we're going to pop that onto there, which do we like, the gifts or the drums? I think either one would work. Yeah, these are from my pre-order. So I got them all. What day did I get them? Must have been on Friday. So I'm going to pop this here on dimensionals, I think. And I'm just using this as a bit of a guide as where I'm going to place my dimensionals. And I'm going to pop another one in the middle. I did also get the ephemera packs, which they are a bit smaller, so I possibly could have used the ephemera packs to do this with as well. But I have got other plans for that, so I didn't really want to get into that. So here I am. I'm lining these 2 points up on the line because this is where my tree is going to stand. I want my peace and joy because this could be the paper, because you're sort of trying to get your peace and joy sort of on the straight. Your paper sort of is going at a slightly different angle, and you've got this is your angle here. So I'm popping these points here onto my line to give me a straight line, so I can hopefully get this peace and joy straight. So let's just have a look, and that's not going to be too bad actually. You like the drums, do you, Glenda? Deb likes the gifts. Lucia likes the gifts. Or it's going to be a hard choice. Okay, so again, I'm just going to use my grid as my straight line, and I'm going to glue my tree straight onto my circle, but I'm only going to put glue in this area here because I don't want glue going everywhere. That's going to hang off a little bit. Now I could have put thread underneath this, baker's twine or linen, and I did sort of think I might have done that, but I've sort of now gone past that point. Okay, we've got gifts and we've got drums. So far I've got 2 for gifts and 1 for drums. And I think I'm going to go the gifts, and I am going to set them up on dimensionals. So let me just get that glue out of the road before it dries out on me. And again, I just want to put dimensionals probably in the middle. About there. I'll pop one at the top up here. We're going to pop another one, I think, about there. And I'm going to pop another one over here in this corner over here. Because I have got that, I'm going to pop a dimensional underneath my tree just on that corner there. Okay. So again, just lining this up, making sure that I've got my straight, what I call in my sewing world, my centre front. It's amazing sometimes how your sewing and your crafting worlds collide. And we want to put those over the top just like that. So I'm not going out very much further than the circle. Just wondering whether I've got that too much at an angle though. I just swing that around just a little bit. Probably could have taken that tree over a fraction, but that's okay. And I'm going to put 2 dimensionals on top, one on top of the other, and pop them underneath that part of the present. So I've just doubled up my dimensionals here, and I'm going to pop what there and take the backing off. Oh, could have taken it up just that little bit higher. There we go, little dimensional backing got stuck underneath there. Okay, let's see how this works. That looks beautiful. I love it. So that was a really fun card. I really like this card, and I'm thinking that this might be my card for this year. Not necessarily using these papers, but I might use these product like the this fun fold. So I hope you've enjoyed this fun fold. I hope this encourages you to get out and give it a try. Any of these products that I've used today will be coming up in the mini catalogue, which is available to purchase in September. I've got that right. If you want a copy of that catalogue and you don't have a demonstrator, contact me, shoot me a message if you're here in Australia, and I can get one out to you. So thank you very much for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed doing that. I've actually loved making that. I think that's fantastic. I saw these earlier when they gave us a sneak peek a couple of months ago, and I knew that I had to get them. I fell in love with them, and I thought, oh, I love these papers. I love these die cuts and the ephemera packs as well. So watch out. I'm going to be doing hopefully a lot of these, and these are actually really good sizes. They are large, but they are also great size for scrapbooking. I haven't scrapbooked Christmas for a long time, mainly because my boys don't always get home for Christmas these days. So, but if you've got children or grandchildren or whatever, look, grab these packs with all the die cuts. I think they're going to be really fun and exciting for scrapbook pages. So thank you again for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please join me on Friday at 1 o'clock, and we're going to create something else. So have a lovely week, and I'll see you on Friday. Bye for now.